You hear the music. We're live on a Friday. Boy, we got a Jeff McClain piece for our Philadelphia Eagles. Harry putting me on to before we came on, and everybody already in the chat right down and to AGB, Joey B, right up to Phyllis Brooks. That's Mama Brooks out there for you all out there.
Yes, yes.
Great grandmama Brooks, as Barrett is in the house today for the first hour. He's on the road in Kansas City, and you have a kindergarten graduation. Is that what you're leaving us for?
Bro, I have to go make it happen, man. Pop has to go out there and be the man, bro. So that's what I got to do, man. And my mom has been hounding me, calling me this morning, making sure that I pick up her grandbaby.
Who's the best grandfather on television? Like in a television show, who's the best grandfather in a movie or a movie and television show? I feel like might be too wide of a range. So I don't know. Is it TV show? Like we always, it's always the go-to. Give me your Mount Rushmore of TV moms. Nobody ever talks about grandfathers.
We never. I mean, look at Father's Day. Nobody even knows when Father's Day is. Yet you know what Mother's Day.
You know what? I'm going to start paying extra attention to that holiday now.
Well, it's like the second weekend in June, the second Sunday in June, isn't it?
I've been neglectful. I admit to my own father, I've been neglectful.
You never know. I mean, I really don't know. When
all I know is I go by the golf calendar. It's when the U.S. Open is.
There you go. So that works.
The U.S. Open Sunday final round always falls on Father's Day.
Well,
you can't go wrong.
No,
can't. Well,
not at all.
I need more. I need more from the kids and the mothers on Father's Day. More than just ties. You can always go to a restaurant on Father's Day.
Yeah. What
you
kind
can
of
go to a restaurant
restaurant
on Father's Day?
Like a fancy one?
Yeah, and you'll have seats. Try to go on Mother's Day. There's nothing available. Nothing.
Well, yeah, that's because guys don't care about that stuff as much. Like they want to go out and play golf. They want to, you know what I mean? Like they want to stay home and maybe watch an NBA game on a Sunday. I don't know.
Right.
They don't care about that stuff. Women, you have to do it. Like if you don't take them to dinner, you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Yeah.
You could forget a Father's Day and it's
I couldn't care less. Oh, you forgot my Father's Day. I'm not really a father, but I'm old enough to be a grandfather.
Well, who's sending you Father's Day stuff in the first
Nobody's sending me stuff. But I'm just saying, if they did and they forgot, I wouldn't care.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but part of me's like, Harry, I get that you got to put on this chiseled, gruff exterior for the world here, but I don't know, maybe if you were a father and your 12-year-old kid forgot it would hurt you, and it's okay to admit that on the radio or television or Philly Voice here or JAKIB Media. It's okay to admit that.
No, I'd probably say he's a chip off the old block because I didn't remember Father's Day and my mom had to remind me as a kid.
Well, everybody's mom has to remind you. My parents have been divorced since I'm 2. I'm 42. I still get a text from my mother.
Do you?
Yeah, hey, it's your dad's birthday. Hey, it's Father's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get the prompts, like text prompts.
Yeah, because my mother is also a Jewish mother from Queens, Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, that's
her blood to stand over me and say, "Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Are you doing this?"
That's a big problem.
And self-made, so it's like I even have that working against me as well. It's like, you're not working. I get criticized.
You get criticized for not working.
Yes. What are you doing? It took, I think, 38 or 39 years on this planet for me to have a conversation with my mom where me saying I'm doing something other than working was met with, why aren't you working? Or did you work today? Seriously. All right.
Well, do you really consider this working? Well, what you do, Eytan, is beyond working. But Harry, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I don't really consider this working, man.
You don't?
No, not really.
You had to show up today. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we got a text from you about an hour before the show saying you were out. You were bailing on the show.
I would. But I called my daughter-in-law.
Yeah,
and she gave me the particulars of everything, so I'm right on time. I planned it out just right. Boom, 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 boom.
Do we really need kindergarten graduations,
bro?
Is that what the world needs?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be at their front and center.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, no question. No, he's gonna look up at his pop and be like, "Yeah, that's my pop right there."
Kindergarten graduation.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, my grandson's he's He's of my loins. You know what I'm saying? He could probably lick the salt off a lot of them kids' heads. That's how tall he is.
Oh, yeah?
How big he is. He's a rough looking dude, man. He's, he can rip up, he can rip up some tree stumps if he wants to.
He's a rough looking kindergartner. Huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Got braids and everything. Braids.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I read the piece on JG, as he likes to be referred to.
Oh, man.
Gannon, Coach Gannon,
Yeah.
the defensive coordinator today. Did you happen to see it?
No, I didn't.
No, we
I
talk
didn't.
about this.
Well,
it's already happening, man. I wrote about this earlier in the week about the press conferences. Enough with the press conference, right?
What was said?
well, it's just what is in.
Hold on.
What's going on?
Now Media Property
Oh,
in
jeez.
partnership with JAKIB Media.
And you, my friend, are caught in the middle.
The Middle starts now on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan, Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, we got a Friday here, and we're going to work a lot of football in here, at least the first hour. Barrett's hanging with us. We have the NBA playoffs nearly underway, and the ratings are going to tell a different story, but the Eastern Conference play-in game is an absolute disgrace. We'll see if what tonight can do anything to bring you back. But yes, Steph this, Steph that. At some point, like you could pour chocolate syrup over cow manure, and at some point you're still going to taste that cow manure.
Yeah.
So you're still going to have to deal with this game tonight in Memphis and all the other stuff like that, no matter how much chocolate Steph syrup you pour all over this bowl tonight. All right?
Well,
All right?
yeah, last night was a dud. I mean, in the third quarter,
Come on.
as much as I claimed that the Wizards looked like they were tanking the other night, man, they just put the throttle down on Indiana in that third quarter, and it was over.
As
Beat
soon
them like
as,
they stole something.
Yeah,
well,
they
that's the
did.
thing. As soon as you're down in these games, you're out.
It's over.
Like there's
Yeah.
no fight left. Charlotte, Indiana.
Yeah.
You need, honestly, you want to do something here. Cut the 10 team out. Get rid of that 10 team out and put a 3-game series between the 8 and 9 seed and have them play to be the right, like a real play-in should be. The 7 seed just to get LeBron or this other stuff. Get the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, why should the 8th seed have to play 3 games or win a series to get the 8th seed? They already had the 8th seed.
Right.
I mean, if I'm that 8th seed team, I'm like, screw this.
Well,
I
no,
was already the 8th seed. I
Right.
gotta play somebody else.
I
to
already
be the 8th
beat
seed?
them through a 72, 82 game season. What are you making me play this play-in series for?
well, you may not have beaten the team below you, and that's the whole idea in the play-in thing in the first place. So the play-in is here to stay. I'm just trying to eliminate San Antonio and the 10 seed. I like
Charlotte.
It's Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of bad basketball for you. I'm
Yeah.
doing this for you.
Oh, you're doing a service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I get, Barrett.
Well, Russell
Right,
Westbrook,
right.
I mean, he lived up to his vow. He vowed to take this team to the playoffs about midway through the season when they were in a major funk. And it was actually pretty impressive what they did from there on in.
Not
That he did.
We're back.
That he
into it.
did.
It's the middle. You got a little Marv too last night, right?
And the Wizards are hearing it from the home crowd. They shoot 58% from the field, 142 points, and you see the final score, 142-115 to cap it off for Washington.
That's something, right?
Now, is that Marv's last game?
Yeah.
That's it. That tremendous Hall of Fame career goes out in a play-in game?
I don't know
Really?
if it's gonna play. I don't know if he's done. I think he's done after this year.
Yeah, I know he's done, but I'm just wondering, like, I'm hoping he's going to do another series or two because you can't have that be your last game, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, he should go out in a game 7, Eastern Conference Finals or something. To me.
I think that he's there for the whole year or the whole postseason.
I
right?
hope so. Yeah, the Wizards were once 17-32 back on April the 5th. They became the first team to make the playoffs after being 15 games under 500 during the season since the Suns did it back in 96, 97.
Yeah, I'd be interested that. Look, I think we have to take it both ways here, right? Where the conference is so bad.
It is.
That on one hand, the Brooklyn Nets can have 1.5 guys for the majority of the season and
almost win the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would also make sense, Harry, that a team like Washington could separate itself from 9 other teams below them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so bad that really one team who is not great but good enough could go on that run.
Yeah.
Wow, look, it's an impressive run. Is that similar to what we saw with like St. Louis? Now they won the cup.
The Blues 2 years ago. Yeah,
that was example.
That was in like early January when they were in Philly, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's right. I think Philadelphia helped birth the Gloria song, right?
Yeah, that's right. They were at that bar in Philly playing it on the jukebox or something,
and all of a sudden, bam! From out of nowhere.
Yeah,
so it gives you an average team and ability to go out there and take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like it? Yeah, I do like it.
They went 17-6 over that stretch. The Wizards from April. That's pretty. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. I hate to do it to you, but this is like the worst team to play against the Sixers team. Even though they swept them this year, this is a guard-driven team.
Yeah, Beal dropped 60 on them in that one of those games.
Yeah.
I think it was the first game.
He missed the last 5 shots, and that's why they lost the game. But he dropped 60 on them.
60.
So,
And I was reading that Ben Simmons only guarded him on like 1 possession in that game.
Crazy nonsense.
That's going to change.
You think Matisse Thybulle's going to be the guy then?
I put.
He gets more reps.
You got to slow him down, man.
Yeah.
You can live with Beal dropping 100.
Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So what's up, man? We got another overreaction to somebody won the press conference, right? That's first off, this guy who is now charged with coaching the defense here in Philadelphia, the new Eagles defensive coordinator, Rich Gannon, Charlie Gannon.
Rich Gannon. Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon. Thank you, sir. He comes out right away and says, I don't even have a scheme. We're just going to see what these guys can do and then put them in the right place. And,
right.
That's pretty much the theme so far is like these guys are talking about the roster as if they've just seen it on paper and haven't really had much interaction with it. Look, that's fine. But to me, and before we even get into the McLean article and the depths of that, just to look at this with Barrett and you, Harry, as well, that to me says this thing's going to take some time. If you don't know how to use your personnel heading into a season, I'm not saying, Barrett, that you're wrong or that you're a bad coach or that you don't know what the hell you're doing. But what I do kind of know is that sucker's going to take a little bit to click because you're still going to be in the process of working what's good, what's not, trial and error, and it may be week 10 before you figure this out. Hell, it might be year 2 before you figure it out.
Well, it was like week 10 before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really figured it out.
You know what
I mean?
They were winning games.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. No, I don't know that it's a negative because I just think that he doesn't want to be boxed in to anything right now before he really gets to evaluate what he's got.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Real quick, Barrett, I just want to clarify this to Harry. My point is not that it's a bad thing he doesn't know how to use them. It's a bad thing in the sense of this is going to take time. I don't think you can just figure this out.
Yeah.
You're better off hitting a 1-iron out of a club, out of your bag.
That lends itself to the fact that this whole season is basically a look-see.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I think, Barrett, it validates that, no?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they don't know what they don't know. I mean, you can listen to even what the head coach said. He said, guys, go out there. I want to see what you can do. But the biggest thing, show me what you can do.
Yeah.
Show me that you're a player.
Right.
I mean, at this point, if I'm a young player or I'm a player that's on the cusp of making a team or not, bruh, I'm going out there ripping heads off. I don't care who's in front of me. I'm going to dominate. because I want to have the mental picture in their head. You only get one time to have a first impression.
Right.
And their first impression is what they're going to see out there in practice today. I mean, when they're out there in these little walkthroughs or these little camp things. This is where you build who these players are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see a guy out there running around, like one guy that's going to definitely step out and be a guy that they're going to be looking at, the Gannon's going to look at, is Bradley from Temple.
Yeah, you
that
love
kid
him.
knows one speed.
I'm telling
he
you.
is always on.
I went to Temple, and you're more bullish on Sean Bradley than I am.
Right, but I'm
Once
telling you, man, watch what I tell you. This kid goes full speed. He may not be the best athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be the best player, but damn it, he going to go full speed. He going to run through that wall.
Yeah, effort has never been a problem for him. That I will agree with. Yeah,
and that's what he is, you know. And he will be on this team a long time if he continues to do that, and may get some reps.
Well, I see on the stream, Birdman 990 says Gannon will be a head coach soon.
Well, that's geez.
I mean, he's already saying it. This is what I'm talking about. This is where I think we need to just pump the brakes a touch, because this guy hasn't called one play on defense in his life at this level yet.
No,
not yet.
No,
okay? And we're already anointing this guy as the next hot coaching commodity. It says it in the McLean piece.
Well,
I love Jeff, but he says here, he talks about Gannon, like Sirianni, is new to his position and has never called plays. If he has immediate success with the Eagles, though, his stay could be short-lived. So they're already making the plans for him to be hired away in a year.
Harry, look what happened in Washington. Same thing happened in Washington. Everybody started looking. All right, they hire.
McVay was there.
Yeah, They had McVay, Shanahan.
Right.
All those guys left and got head coaching.
But
jobs.
Shanahan had worked his way, like he had been a play caller elsewhere before even going to Washington.
Right. Yes.
He had paid more dues. Shanahan had.
This guy just walks into and look, this is part of it. And I wrote this on Philly Voice earlier in the week. There was the good and the bad of it, where we just can't help ourselves overreacting to these press conferences. And here is the latest example. We had Joe Girardi, where people were calling for Gabe Kapler to come back because he was next questioning Jim Salisbury and extrapolating some major concern about Joe Girardi as a manager because he couldn't handle that back and forth, allegedly, with Salisbury, to all of a sudden Nick Sirianni has changed the temperature in the room because he's come out and been able to throw a couple of platitudes out there, and you've got people just, oh yeah, this guy's
can't overreact.
This guy's got it. Right. It's like, whoa, right away we have today with all anointing Gannon as a head coach, and just get out there and do something for a year or two before we start talking about this. How long do we talk about Jim Schwartz getting a head coaching job? At least he came as a head coach.
Right.
Well, hey, Shan, for once, I'm with you on this. We got to pump the brakes, man. We cannot go out there saying anointing guys this and that when they don't even, just like you said, he didn't even know what defense is going to run.
Right.
Hopefully they run a
let
big
him
nickel.
figure it out. You know, let him figure it out a little bit. I'm willing to give him this whole year to just sort of see what they have in the quarterback, if he really is the guy, or they've got plenty of draft picks the next season to go find one, whatever. Then you start over again. But I've got an open, clean slate for this coaching staff too. I don't know what to expect.
Harry, we have no choice. We have no choice.
Right.
We don't know what these guys are, who these guys are. Half the players on this team, we don't know what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at just like my man Baldy.
Yeah.
Baldy has anointed our second round pick.
Oh, Dickers, he loves him.
Is that
the
right?
next coming
yeah. He
of
loves
Nelson
him.
from
Quentin Nelson from Indianapolis, the Notre Dame kid. Yeah, I know.
He is anointed.
And maybe he will be. If he can stay healthy, he's probably going to be.
Bro,
okay.
If he stays healthy, this kid here, he has an attitude like no other. Mm-hmm. He's a finisher. He's kind of athletic too, man, but he's strong as heck.
Oh, yeah.
But, he can't he has to stay on the field. And Baldy pointed out, he started 24 games in a row. There's hope.
Okay.
There's hope.
Right.
There is hope. But
this entire team.
Right.
I have a rant on NBC Sports Philadelphia. I have a rant on there about the ranking of the 32 quarterbacks and putting Hurts at 31.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
you have a first round draft choice. that, you know, first pick overall, but he plays for the worst organization known to man, Jacksonville. You can't expect that kid to go out there and do anything. And plus, they just signed Tebow to a contract.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Notice how
Come
we didn't
on.
even talk about that the other day.
Right, exactly, man.
Or Tebow.
He
Both.
literally signed a
Tebow.
contract, though.
Yeah.
Before it was just he worked out.
Yeah.
But he signed a contract. And I love Bart Scott. Bart Scott said, look, if I line up and Tebow's out there and I line up against Tebow, I'm going to make sure that I'm just going to jam him and not even let him. I'm going to embarrass him because, number one, I played this position my entire life. And here this guy comes in after 6 years being retired and wants to change position and thinks he's going to do something to me.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, no.
He was playing baseball for the last couple of years. Trying to
Right,
play
come
baseball.
on, man.
Yeah.
He had a mic in his hand.
The irony is that Bart Scott walked into a media job.
Right. Isn't that funny? Walked right
into
into
it.
right onto the set of NBC or NBC,
Off 2 words.
CBS.
Yeah.
Off 2 words.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't
So-
wait.
Can't wait.
Like
Those
let's
2 words,
put things
can't
in
wait.
perspective here. I agree with Bart Scott, and he's right with Tim Tebow, but the hypocrisy of it, as far like the hypocrisy of calling out Tim Tebow does not limit or diminish the absurdity in its own right of Tebow. Like both can coexist here. And that's the problem with sports media that I always go back to is that it's full of Tebows. Barrett was in a truck editing tape.
Right.
It was
Behind the
passing
scenes.
cables behind
Right.
the scenes.
Yeah.
I
Fan
served-
dues.
Yeah, I served Jaws, Ron Jaworski, coffee.
Is that
I
right?
was there. Oh man, Sterling Sharp. Ask Baldy. I went and got Baldy a sandwich from the
Wow.
cafeteria. You know what I'm saying? I did it the hard way. I worked my way up, man.
Wow.
You know, my first time being on radio was with you. Harry, I'm sitting there with you. I'm like, uh-oh. All right, what am I going to say? And then here comes you. Talk about football.
Yeah, I know.
Don't talk about. Just talk about football. and you walk me through it, man. This is utterly ridiculous. How guys just get thrown jobs. You know.
Yeah.
And some of them just let them go to trick them off. Too.
I'm envious.
Well, look,
Right.
it's going to be me too. Come August, you'll see me on a channel that you never thought you'd ever see me on. And I didn't pay years of dues on.
Oh,
QVC.
you paid dues, bro.
Yeah,
But
you
not in that world, not in QVC or anything like
yeah,
that.
but you will be the reason I will watch that channel for 8 minutes.
Me too.
That may be it. Okay. Well, I feel a little bit better about my own hypocrisy.
What are you going to sell?
What was that? What
I'm
was
the
that Eddie
Bart
Murphy
Scott.
movie? What was that Eddie Murphy movie where he did the same thing on like a QVC channel? What was that? Eddie? The stream will know. The
Not
Eddie
Holy
movie.
Man.
Holy Man. Yeah, that's
Like
it. Holy Man.
Yeah.
Are you the new Holy Man?
Yes.
This is what you're going to sell, this flashlight?
Well, it's not just a flashlight. See this thing right here?
What is that?
That breaks the glass in your car if you're
if you
Look.
okay.
This ain't Bruce Willis. This ain't Die Hard, Jack. You're in a car accident. You're going to need this. You can't kick that thing out. Barrett can't kick that thing
But the
out.
problem
It's
is
up.
what if you can't access wherever that is in your car because you got
your
the
seatbelt.
airbag all up in your face?
Well, the airbag will deflate. It's the seatbelt that's the problem.
Mm.
Da da da! I happen to have a seatbelt cutter right here for you.
Ah,
So you just cut that seatbelt out. Look, I've seen an 89-pound woman in the demo cut her seatbelt out with this thing, so you can do it as well. And then you bash the window. You're out of it. You're out of the car wreck before the jaws of life even come.
Where's my credit card? Should I cash app you?
And
I need to get one.
What are they? $19.99, and you'll throw in a second one for just another $9.99?
No, it's a
No,
pack.
he'll give you
Two.
you buy it and he's gonna give you a round robin.
Yes.
I'll give you free picks on the way
Free
out.
picks.
That's right. You buy 4 of these right now. I'm giving away free. I'm going to get on there and say, yeah, I'll tell you what, Dave, you add an extra 2 to this foursome. You make it a 6-pack right now. I'll throw in a round robin tonight. I'll give you a special pick. You won't even have to hit my 800 number.
Right.
I'll even give you a free round of golf at my club.
Yeah, right. Just buy it. I'm going to be
Ridiculous,
insufferable.
Oh, that's
Just
great.
wait. Just wait.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, look,
Hey,
I mean,
what-
I'm Bart Scott at QVC, so I can't, I can't rip. I got on there for one thing.
Is there a Ginsu knife on that thing too?
No, there's no knife on that. I'm working on that. I'm working on getting the flashlight and everything else with it.
Yeah.
You
You remember
follow
that?
the worst thing?
Camera guy?
You remember those commercials where it would cut like an aluminum can and then they'd cut a slice of tomato after that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I ordered that. See, that was the worst thing about working Breakfast on Broad. I had to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So those infomercials are on.
So I'm watching all the infomercials on that show. So I'm buying knives I don't want.
Yeah.
I bought a power washer that doesn't even work. I'm still pissed off of. Yeah, I'm still pissed off from it, man.
That's a great lead-in, having an infomercial, isn't it?
Amazing. Amazing. You know, the new infomercial now is because if you're up like that or you're just out, everybody's locked on the phone. So think about what Amazon has essentially done, where instead of going to Twitter or going to whatever app it is, a lot of people just go on Amazon. Like I would do it. My wife hates it. Boxes everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that's the new impulse buy, and that's the new up late infomercial, is just going on the app and already being inundated with, hey, you would really like this.
Right.
Bought this, you would really like this.
Right. Based upon your recent purchases, our algorithm says you're going to want this.
Right.
Don't you start them. You just start them now.
Yep.
Amazon is taking over the world, man. I mean, you can get anything on Amazon. It's better than eBay now. eBay used to be my best friend. Now Amazon, man. I get everything. I bought a motor off Amazon.
Well, hold on. I got to hear about this motor coming up. All right. We got to take a quick one here on the network. Kevin Kincaid is going to join us in the second hour. Look at some Sixers. Ryan Ballantyne in the second hour. Look at the PGA. Barrett Brooks, Harry Mays, Eytan Shander. Like, subscribe, share away on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Grow, help us. That's the best and easiest way you all out there can help us. Like, share, and remind the crew. See somebody new in there? Remind them, hey, welcome to the community. Make sure you like and share and subscribe, especially. We're back in 3. It's the middle.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Bro, I hate Kansas. I hate Kansas.
Kansas?
Yes, man. It's nothing here.
A couple of my buddies are out there this weekend, too, for a wedding.
Oh.
I
hate to do it to them.
Disaster.
They are bored right now, man.
No, they're not. They're not bored. Trust me. They're going to get arrested.
You're listening to The Middle on the Sportsman Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Nobody this hour. I keep wanting to promote Kincaid, but he's coming up next hour. So just more of Rich Gannon taking over as the best defensive coordinator in the NFL.
I'm still curious, man. I want to see what he's going to run with the talent that he has.
Right.
We don't have any idea. Like, think about this. How many teams this year have no idea what they're running on both sides of the football? Just a percentage, do you think? Or like,
well, he's a 4-3 defensive guy. I mean, he's like, just look at what Mike Zimmer has done,
right,
in all his stops. What, Cincinnati, Dallas, now Minnesota as a head coach for the last 7-8 years, whatever it's been. He's going to blitz more, is what everybody seems to think. And that's what everybody was so annoyed with Schwartz on. Is that he rarely ever blitzed.
Yes,
right.
Schwartz was scared to blitz because he didn't have the athletes back there to cover if they get loose, which is like it's crazy because it's terrible. You're in a terrible situation. I mean, the fact that he was able to go out there and execute a defense with the guys that he had was, that was poetic. Poetic, just being able to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard to have corners that can't cover.
Yeah.
But then if you don't create pressure with your front four, you're going to get enough time to throw the ball,
anyway.
And they're still going to get exposed.
Right.
Now, I
actually thought he did a pretty darn good job here for many years.
I did too. The only issue that I have is that we were led to believe that he was pretty instrumental in handpicking who his guys were.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying is how, as good as it was for him to overcome the issue, he also helped compound the issue by not bringing the right people in the back end. Does that make sense, Barrett?
Yeah, you sort of can't have it both ways.
Right.
Yeah.
He's handpicking guys, and he's bringing his guys in, but some of those guys couldn't play.
Yes,
right.
But it's, look, I don't think it's as simple as just, then he's a good coach or he's a bad coach. I think I agree with you guys, which he overcame more than I guess the opposite. But part of me in the back of my head is like, hey man, you can't really complain about a chef unable to make one of the courses really good. Like he's not a great pastry chef. Guy can cook a piece of meat, great appetite, a salad that you think is plucked right from the Mediterranean, but that pastry or that cake was awful, need more sugar, stuff like that. When the chef is the one keeping the ingredients right for all of the meal. So that's what I'm saying, is that it felt like Schwartz, for the most part, had a great first course, amazing main course, but just kind of left us leaning and wanting a little more when it came to the dessert. And yet he was the one making the cakes. I'm hungry.
It always comes down to sugar with him.
Well, I
doesn't
see
it?
all this resin talk up here.
Seriously. I mean, chocolates and chocolate covered almonds or whatever he's eating. He's always about sweets.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Life's
Nothing
better.
wrong at all, bro. Nothing wrong at all.
Man.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Why does this team devalue two positions in particular, cornerback and linebacker? I don't understand it.
You think they devalue corner too?
Yes.
Well, this year they did, I think.
Oh,
they definitely did this year.
They did last year. Well, exception of Slay. They brought Slay in last year.
You're saying that because they didn't draft it high up in the draft this year.
And they don't.
Or free agency either in a year, Harry, where they needed one.
Yes. In the
That's
worst
where
way.
I think the concern is, right? Like they needed one.
Well, when did they sign Darby a couple years ago?
And that was a good pick. Darby actually wasn't bad. He was just too little.
That was part of the trade. That was part of a pick. Remember when we looked at the 2017 draft and we kind of looked back in hindsight of the 2017 draft, Darby was involved in one of those trades.
Okay.
Buffalo, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jordan Matthews trade that eventually.
That's right.
Yeah,
it was Jordan Matthews.
Yeah,
it was Jordan Matthews.
You're right.
Which was a good move to get rid of him. Now, again, you got him in the first place. So you had to get rid of him.
That was one of those other positions that they used to devalue, which was wide receivers. And
Right.
They'd get these milquetoast guys in here. And,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I'll tell you something.
James Thrash.
Nelson Aguilar is a warning. Where I think what's going to happen here is you don't want to see what we've seen on defense a lot, where guys struggle, then they go on, they play better elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. You hit it, Shan. You just opened up something that we hadn't talked about, and a lot of people aren't talking about. We're talking about, not bringing in the right talent.
Yeah.
How about developing talent? We have not developed wide receivers. We have not developed cornerbacks. We have developed defensive linemen, offensive linemen, tight ends, safeties.
Yep.
But we devalue a lot of positions. We just don't. Because there's been 6 wide receiver coaches here? 6? I think we got a pretty good DB coach now, but
couldn't you say that they did a little developing with a guy like Ward, who was a practice squad guy? And I know they were kind of down to nothing but him, but he's actually a decent 4th or 5th wide receiver now in the league, and probably is going to have a career that's going to extend.
Harry, that's just him wanting it. Wanting staying power. He wanted to be in the league, so he did whatever it takes to switch positions, become a wide receiver, hone his craft, get better himself.
Right. He did what Tebow didn't want to do 10 years ago.
Matt Collins or anything.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Great. It's the middle. A lot happening here. Second hour, we'll look a little in the Sixers and PGA direction, more in the NFL here coming up. And this comment from Sabathia.
This is what I was telling you when they.
Yeah.
What?
CC Sabathia going off on La Russa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Did you hear this?
He's a good dude, man.
Yeah. I know a guy who works with his wife.
Yeah.
You ready?
This is what I was telling you when they hired him. Like, he's just so out of touch with the game, and most people are, cuz. Like, I sit here and watch Christopher Russo on fucking MLB Network. He's out of touch with the game, cuz. Like, Tony La Russa's out of touch with the game, cuz. He should not be managing one of the best teams in the American League, period.
Wait a second. Is he allowed to say that word on the air? Does he have the authority to drop that word on the air?
Which word?
Cuz.
No, cuz.
Only you, man. Only you would see that, bro.
This is what I was telling you when they hired him. Like, he's just so out of touch with the game, and most people are, cuz. Like,
using my cousins?
Is he talking to the cuz?
He's on fucking MLB Network. He's out of touch with the game, cuz.
Wait a second. Is he talking to Anthony?
Is he talking to Anthony?
I think that's the only way you could get away with dropping that many cousins in a 13. I've got another minute and 12 seconds of this audio.
This
How
might
many
have
cousins?
CC. Do you know him?
I don't know him personally, but I know somebody who works with his wife, and he's a great dude.
I played golf with him last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was around this time last year. That dude there is, man. He's rich. He understands he's rich. He is that dude, so he says whatever the hell he wants to say.
Right.
He's like the baseball Charles Barkley, bro.
Didn't he give up drinking?
Yeah, he dropped.
Yeah, he had a little bit of an issue with it, I think, for a little while.
He wasn't drinking either. He was smoking the cigars, but he wasn't drinking.
Right. But he was drinking back in the day.
He dropped a bunch of weight and all.
Yeah.
How many more cousins?
Yeah, big dude too.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", isn't he?
Yeah.
He's big. How many more cousins do you think you're gonna get in the next minute?
2.
I already got 2.
4.
2.
Guys, like, Tony La Russa's out of touch with the game, cuz. He should not be managing one of the best teams in the American League, period. The fact that Tim Anderson, basically the captain of their team, had to go on Instagram and step up for his teammate. Like, the game wasn't over. If you're going to put a position player in there to pitch, guess what? If he's going to lob over the plate, we going to fucking tee off. Put a 10-run rule up there, cuz. If y'all don't want to see people get embarrassed and you don't want to see position players pitch and people swing on 3-0 counts and all that shit, then make it a 10-run rule so the fucking game will be over and you don't have these stupid-ass written rules. And now you got a rookie that's basically been carrying your team these last first 6 weeks of the season. This guy's been carrying you. And now you don't have a problem with the fucking weird ass Minnesota Twins throwing behind one of your biggest hitters? That's just fucking stupid. It's stupid. Period. I'm sorry.
I wanted another cuz. We got 14 more seconds in here. Do you think we're gonna get one more cuz?
No.
No, Barrett. Not one.
No, we had a couple. We got a couple F-bombs that took over the cousins.
Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry May.
We welcome you back on the network here, still live on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Reminder to like, subscribe, share away so you don't miss anything happening on the entire page of content. But beyond that, we were just running the CC Sabathia, and there were a couple of cuz bombs dropped. Yeah. Forget the F bombs. We're more focused on the cuz bombs.
I like cuz bombs better.
Yeah, he was all cuzzed up.
One F-bomb is worth two cousins, bro. Come on, man.
No, I'm wondering, was that on Fox Sports Radio on the weekend with the cuz?
I don't know. And Lincoln?
Yeah.
Right. The Fellas is the name of the show.
Is that what it's called? The Fellas?
Yeah, with
Lincoln Kennedy.
Yes, I believe
and
the two of them still do the show together.
Wow.
If not, then it might
That's
just
a
be
big dude too.
Yeah.
Oh, Lincoln's fantastic. I've had him on courtesy of Anthony on a couple of my shows, and he's amazing, dude.
Well, now I got to do to you what we always do to Barrett, to be fair, because you dropped a few minutes ago that you have a connection to one CC Sabathia through some other people. And if that was Barrett, we'd be jumping all over his back saying, when's he coming on the show?
I don't have
shoulders will be hurting right now.
Right.
I just know somebody who's worked with his wife. That's all. And as I've said multiple times, I don't know what you misconstrued or how you misconstrued that, but that's all I said is that I know somebody who worked with his wife and a couple of fashion things. She's a big fashion designer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that's all. That's what I'm saying. Jeez, slow down.
You know, we got to treat you and me the same way we treat Barrett.
I get it. Now, how many more? We've got 14 seconds left on this audio. Harry definitively said no more cuz bombs. Will we, Barrett? What say you?
I think he gets one more. Just one more. One more.
That's just fucking stupid. It's stupid. Period. I'm sorry. This is terrible. He shouldn't be fucking managing that team. And if you're not going to step up and have your players back, what's the point of being the fucking manager of the White Sox? Stupid as sorry.
Oh, Harry's right.
It's stupid.
You win a pen.
Who said that? Because we had that on a drop back at the old place.
It was
it's stupid.
It was the closer, Papelbon.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It was Papelbon who
talking about velo. Everybody was obsessed with velo, man. It's stupid.
It's stupid, man. Because when you heard the cut, it sounded like him saying "is stupid," man. Yeah, because it was cut like that to make it sound
now,
like
you almost went into your Tony Montana.
It's stupid, man.
Yes.
He's so good, man.
Okay.
He's so good, man.
Stupid.
Oh God.
You tell your friend I kill a communist for fun.
Here he goes.
All right. All right.
We get it back to the Eagles.
Yeah, seriously. Scarface impersonations. Half the audience hasn't even seen that.
The movie was 1983.
Seriously. The whole thing with Cuss, the whole thing with Sabathia, though. I mean, my favorite part of it has to be when he's ripping Russo, right?
Yeah. The game, and most people are, cuz like I sit here and watch Christopher Russo on MLB Network. He's out of touch with the game, cuz.
That's amazing.
Well, yeah, and if you're Christopher Russo's producer,
I sit here and watch Christopher Russo.
Whether it's for High Heat on the MLB Network or his radio show, you are dialing CC.
Yeah,
every 10 minutes, you got to get him on.
Here's the thing: what's Russo? No, like normally Russo's got a problem with everybody. You can go back and say, Bob Gibson. They never did it.
Right?
What's he going to say about CC's one of the best Yankees pitchers? And you can't argue with his effort. Like, it's not like this guy was dogging it, as far as this whole thing with taking nights off in the NBA, John Havlicek stuff. I don't know. I think Russo might have to just accept the fact that he got ripped, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you got to get him on. I mean, the score was 15-4 when that infielder threw that cookie. Okay.
Yeah. Was it a better cookie than the one that Matt Moore threw last night.
Oh,
that was just gone before you even knew it. Like
it was like the one Ripken got served in the All-Star game. Remember that one? I think it was his last All-Star game, and they threw a meatball right down the middle of the plate.
That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Why.
I know.
Oh man, brutal. But you're right. I mean, that was, I don't know. I mean, now you're gonna have is there gonna be a brawl? Let's go tell Pat Riley. Hey, Pat. I mean,
well, the next day they threw at the guy. They threw behind that kid, the rookie.
Right.
And La Russa then said he understood why they did it. Like he wasn't upset with the Twins. He knew it was coming, and he said, I'm okay with it. That's the way the game polices itself. He shouldn't have hit the home run. I gave him the take sign, and he swung and hit a 3-0 meatball over the fence.
Kapler had an issue with this, I think, out in San Fran, right? When he was first out there. And I think it was the opposite. I don't know. Look, I'll say this. From what I know, for never have playing a professional sport, but for guys who have a lot of money and ego and much more at stake, for better or worse, and again, this goes back to the whole press conference stuff. I don't know, Barrett. It just seems like for better or worse, guys like it when the coaches have their backs. When the managers have, and that's what I'm saying is Tony La Russa could be 150% right in all of this. I don't know if he is, but he could be. And it's the optics of it. It's dealing with kids. It's like Bill Jackson dealt with this, and he's like, screw this, I'm out of here. I don't need to deal with young kids anymore. I don't need to butt heads with young Pat Riley. Same thing. These older guys, they just have it where it's like, it's going to be, it's going to be the same. Give Mike Tomlin 10 years. All right, he's going to be the same like everybody else. When you get to that age, it's like I can't even talk to these kids anymore.
Right.
Well, that's the problem, man. Because back in the day, even when I first started out in the league, they used to tell me about stuff that used to happen back in the day. Like I was sitting down talking to Riley McKenzie. He's one of the original Hogs.
Yeah.
And he said when he first started there, like his rookie year, Riggins would be over there during camp. He'd be barbecuing over in the corner and
probably drinking beer
guys,
too.
Yeah, drinking beers and telling the young guys what to do. Hey, no. What are you doing? You got to do it this way. Yeah. Why he has a grill out on the practice field.
Wow.
That's
grilling
true.
And drinking beer.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
Everybody else is practicing.
When Joe Gibbs went to his farm in Kansas to recruit him back to the team because he just went home. He just quit football and went home. And Gibbs shows up.
Did he even say anything?
Riggins has 2 beers. He shows up to the front door at like 10 in the morning. He's got 2 beers, and he offered Joe Gibbs one of the beers. Gibbs doesn't drink. So Riggins just sat there and drank them both. 10 in the morning. Now, how great is that guy?
That's awesome.
What were the 3 receivers called again?
Oh, the Fun Bunch. The Fun Bunch.
Fun Bunch, yeah.
The Fun Bunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, they said when this is how things were different back then.
Gary Clark was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
It's cold. I mean, it's during December, and everybody else would be out there practicing on the practice field.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they would call the Fun Bunch only on 7-on-7 and on team drills. But once their 7-on-7 was over, they go back in and they'd be up there, riding the bike, maybe, working out like that. And all of a sudden they tell them, come on out. They'll do team and they'll go back in. They were not staying out in that.
So they didn't have to stand out in the cold.
No.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make it.
That's like kicker treatment. Right? That's like the game. Yeah. Kick a couple of kicks, go out there and start swinging your pitching wedge.
Bro,
Right.
Kirk Avea used to smoke cigarettes at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Smoke cigarettes at half. Willie T. We're playing at halftime. I think we're playing like Minnesota or something. At halftime, he's over there playing. That's when the first PlayStation came out, PlayStation 1.
Uh-huh.
He's playing PlayStation with this, fighting game with the bunny that spins around and hits and all that stuff. He's playing it at halftime. It was just different. Football was just different back then, man. They did things a lot differently.
Wow.
Well, what game would that be? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's
the fight game I'm talking about with the bunny?
Yeah. It's not Street Fighter.
No, it's not Street Fighter. No.
It's the it's the other one that had like 50 of them.
Play Action Real says when men were men. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, there's that famous picture of Lenny Dawson. Smoking a cigarette in the locker room, I think at one of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right.
At halftime.
But here's the thing. like we still have it's not like, oh, you get caught in this olden time where it was just like this mythical time that doesn't exist anymore. You still have a lot of the constants. It's just the exteriors around it. Yeah, not Bad Bunny. Good call. Yeah, Tekken. That's what it must have been.
That's it. Tekken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Jimmy
Tekken.
Blues. I don't know why I couldn't think of that one there. But
right.
That's what I think you have now, which is difficult. And look, it's difficult because if you're a kid growing up and maybe your parents aren't that same mentality as your coach, then it puts the coach at a disadvantage. It also puts the kid at a disadvantage, because now you have a superstar athlete and we see this a lot, like AAU, right? Babe Ruth, like the younger stuff, the travel baseballs and things along those lines, Pop Warner up to the high level of football where, you're heavily recruited, where it's like, okay, yeah, you get coddled. And then we always blame the coaches and the coaches like, oh, they're coddling these kids. How much power do they have if the family is present and the family is dictating something?
Yeah.
We saw this right here in the NBA. Real quick, we saw this right here in the NBA with Markelle Fultz.
It all starts off
dictating stuff.
It all comes. Well, it started back in hockey with what was here in Philadelphia. Eric Lindros and his pops and his mom running things, with the Flyers. Started with that. Then you got these parents with these participation awards. I'm not giving a kid a trophy just because he participated.
You're about to go to a kindergarten graduation. Are you going to stand up in the middle of that graduation and say, now, hold on a second. What are we
made it. He made it. He got the grade. He made it through kindergarten. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He got the grade. He's going to the first grade now.
That's great.
Now there's no more of that. Now when he goes to junior high, I'll be there for that one.
What's the next
when he goes to
you have to go to? Junior high, 6th grade?
Junior high, yeah.
6th grade, yeah.
Yeah, 6th grade, junior high.
Well,
then it's high school, then it's college.
Isn't that when they go into junior high? Like, is 6th grade was elementary school, like the end of elementary school when I was there. Now, has that changed?
Yeah, 6th grade is middle school.
6th grade is 6, 7, and 8 is now middle school. Okay.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not with me. Middle school with me was in the 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade, and then
junior high was 7 and 8 for me. Yeah,
me too.
For me, it was 6th grade. I was in a middle school with 6, 7, and 8.
How many years were you in the 6th grade?
1. I was the only grade I repeated was my sophomore year in high school when I was taken from my regular school and thrown up to the school up in Washington, Connecticut. And they told me that if I repeated a year. But to be fair, I'm a December birthday, so I was always young. I was the youngest person in my grade.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
So they told me to stay back in the transfer and that I have a better chance of playing college football. So, all right, whatever the hell. That didn't pan out. Gettysburg College clearly did not pan out in that regard. And then I didn't have to repeat, but I had to stick around for an extra semester at Gettysburg.
Bro, I never.
Yeah,
Mama Brooks would have killed me.
No, man. I worked Domino's that entire summer. All right, double shifts at Domino's.
You were the Noid.
I was the Noid.
The Noid is back.
I think you were the inspiration for the Noid.
So. Let me tell you something. There is nothing better than ending a 12-hour shift at Domino's, driving to the outskirts of Adams County to a wide park or whatever it may be, right down to a small apartment complex, and having the guy count the change down to the penny as he's paying you. 48, 49,
right,
50,
no
51.
tips.
Right. Yep.
Nope, no tips. And the guy telling you before you go out to deliver at 11:50 at night, hey man, don't expect any tip from this dude.
Right.
And you're just thinking, maybe this is it. Maybe I can charm him. Maybe I'm going to be the time.
My buddy used to deliver in Shippensburg when we were there, and he knew.
Hold on. We're not going to break on the network or on the radio. No, we are going to break on the radio, not on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Back in 3. Go ahead, Harry.
My buddy did that for a summer out in Shippensburg, summer and a winter, and he would literally hold the stuff out the window of the car in the wintertime while he was driving it over to the place because he knew he wasn't going to get tips from these people.
Yeah.
So they did an ice cold cheesesteak. Yeah.
It's not bad, man.
Yeah.
It was so, I mean, I'm telling you, Gettysburg cleared out in the summer, man.
Oh, yeah. So did
It was
Shippensburg.
a lonely, desolate existence.
I spent a summer up at Shippensburg.
Yeah. So you
imagine being
it's
in
like
Kansas
Siberia.
State.
Wow,
Imagine being in Kansas State.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a university, but it's in the middle of a cornfield.
Right.
Like
But from a university standpoint, like how many people are at undergrad?
It's what?
Pretty big.
20,000 students.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, 20,000 students.
So,
And it was a ghost town once everybody left.
But did everybody really leave?
Yes.
My
Okay.
buddies
When
are in
did you get the hell out of there?
Salinas, Kansas. They
Yeah,
just
Salina. Yep.
Oh, is that how you
Salina.
say it? Salina.
Yeah, Salina.
Be
That's
careful.
where Coach Snyder came and picked me up. We were in between Manhattan and Salina, Kansas.
Okay.
That's where he came and got me.
Wow.
Is that
Off
on
the
the
bus.
way to Kansas City from Manhattan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You go from Kansas, you go from Manhattan to Topeka to Salina, then to Kansas City.
Salina. That's where they're at.
Bro, it was the worst ride. It's the worst ride ever. Like I said, man, your dog could run away. It could be 20 miles away. It's so flat, you could still see the dog wagging his tail. That's how flat it was out there.
I'll tell you, man, I'll never forget driving from
Tell you what, man.
College to Denver, Colorado, and we drove through the entire state, 8 hours.
Oh my
The
God, that's
entire
the
state
worst.
of Kansas.
I did it. I did it too. Yep.
Before we switched over, we got
Not Selena Dion.
to the border. Right, we switched over before the border, and at that point, it was like, you know, you drive till you're empty, then the other guy takes over, same thing. So I thought I was going to be passed out, right? And I popped an E-pill at the time.
Oh boy.
And I passed out because I'm so exhausted. Then I wake up in the middle of Kansas where you can't see anything for miles all around in this small Ford Taurus with my buddy who is already just like shot from driving, waking up rolling at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Rolling in my 6'4".
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
I was rolling out of my skull. Dun, 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 dun.
I want to ride.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, I was about to just have him pull the car over and just run. Like
Bro,
I would run into the fields.
I would run a trip like that to Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And
you went out to see Joey B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boulders.
We rolled the Boulder, and another bad trip was we went to Nebraska.
Mm.
That's a bad trip, also, man.
Yeah, I got a couple of other bad trips I can tell you about. In the break.
This is the middle on the sports map.
A little action from Paddock tonight.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts
We're gonna run with
studio.
Chris Paddock.
Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, now what's going on here? Are you getting out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man. In a minute.
Okay. What do you have going on? The graduation is what time? Now you're an
1
hour
o'clock.
behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an hour behind. Yeah.
What do you have to do? You have to get ready. You have to get. Are you gonna?
No, I'm already packed everything, man. That's what I'm totally committed to this show, man. That's what I said. I packed up everything. All I gotta do is gotta grab everything. I'm about to order my Uber, so we got until my Uber gets downstairs. So it's probably gonna take what 10 minutes for the Uber to come, 15 minutes for the Uber to come.
How drunk are you gonna be for this thing?
I can't get drunk there. I gotta be respectable.
You're the grandfather.
You're not tailgating the graduation.
Yeah,
I should. That's a great idea.
You should bring an infused cup in with you.
That's what I'm saying, Harry. Thank you.
And you know what? Here in Kansas, you can get liquor from gas stations.
Right.
You can get them from grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
You can get liquor from anywhere, bro. I might have to do that.
Why?
I just might have to do that.
Look, if there's anybody, not even the grandmom, like boss lady can't get away with that. She's got to be responsible. She's the one keeping the entire operation afloat. You are the one person who could get away showing up with a flask.
Right.
Like you're the one person, you're the grandfather. And on top of that, like, you know, you're the bankroll of the whole operation.
Right. See, but the thing is, though, isn't the grandfather a little bit different of a role than the uncle? It's like if you're come in as the uncle, they expect you to be a little bit drunk.
Yeah, you can do what you want to do. When you're the uncle, you're expected to, take them out for their first beer. You're expected to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be that grandpa today. I'm gonna have to do that, guys. I might have to do that.
We're gonna get a tweet.
My mom is gonna be so mad at me, but I'm gonna have to do that.
Yep.
And Mama Brooks in the house?
No, she's not going, but she hears this right here.
Right.
She's gonna call me.
Look,
while I'm on my way.
Let her hear from the boss lady, then you're really gonna have it.
Was the boss lady on the trip too?
No, she
I
just
didn't
got
think
that
so. Yeah,
surgery,
she
man.
couldn't go because she had the new knee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was.
She's on Percocet still, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boss lady's flying high at home right now.
Right.
Seriously, you didn't sneak any of those perks?
No. That's like a going up there and putting a pit bull against a chihuahua.
Putting your hand in a hornet's nest.
Oh man,
you'd rather get caught in the cookie jar than the Percocet bottle.
Wow.
That's a fight. That's a fight for you, bro.
No, you don't want that at all.
No parts of that, bro. No parts of that.
Wow, Brandon Grace is 6 under par.
Let's do it.
we got two South Africans at the top of the leaderboard.
Penguin AZ. Stag is, you could buy a case of Stag for $5.45. A case. 24. A case of 24 for $5.24. That's how bad
beer?
Stag is. Yeah, Stag beer.
Oh. Wow.
I'm not in college anymore. I can afford beer now, bro.
Well, I remember being in Pittsburgh, Kansas, because it's right near the border of Missouri, like the southwestern border of Missouri. We went across the state line from Missouri to go to a club in Pittsburgh because they were serving 3-2 beer to you if you were 18.
What?
And I was 18. Yeah, that was big time.
Oh, it's no question. No question.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Going from Carthage, Missouri over to Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Bro, that's some of the best times in college, man. I mean, some of the best times, man. You talk about delivery guys, bro. And I know the owner of this pizza place. He knows for a fact that we used to do it. He knows for a fact because I know because I played in a golf tournament like 3 years ago. But we'd order a pizza, and pizza would come. We'd pay for the pizza, but we send 2 other guys out there to the delivery car and take 2 pizzas and bring them back up.
Wow.
They were stealing 2 pizzas and paying for 1 pizza. And he knew we were doing it.
And still coming up.
He was just a good dude. I know he did because 3 years ago I played in a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And he came and brought it up. He brought it up to me. That's when you know things were great. Things were great at Kansas State, bro. We had a guy that used to play football there. But he owned a liquor store, and he used to tell, I was a captain, the captains, big star players, you guys could come, you can drink as much as you want inside the liquor store.
Right.
But you can't take anything outside the liquor store.
Wow, we have Twitter update. We have a Twitter update.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
My buddy of mine did a show this morning with Peter Costas.
Okay.
Right. And I told him that Peter blocked me on Twitter years ago. And he said, no kidding, I'm going to tell him about it. So he tells Peter Costas that he blocked his buddy, meaning me. And Peter said, quote, I probably had a bad day. He goes, what was that guy's name again so I can unblock him? He unblocked me.
Okay.
That is great work.
How about that?
That's why you flex your name, bro.
Right.
You flexed your name.
Right.
You get a follow out of that or what?
Yeah, well, not a follow. I mean, geez. He's not going to follow me. He follows 343 people. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he blocked me.
He's out on you, huh?
No, not anymore, though. I got to get him on the show.
ETA, 5 minutes.
What's that? Whistling.
Yeah. Got to get out of here. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.
All right, man.
Take it easy. I'll be back tonight.
Thanks for checking in for an hour.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm gonna have my grandson call Uncle Shander and Uncle Harry. All right, everybody at the stream. Peace.
All right.
Put him up on the stream. We'll celebrate his graduation.
There we go. Go. We'll make it happen later.
Enjoy.
How about that?
Talking too much _ just followed me.
Talking too much.
At Talking Too Much _ sharing nonsense opinions since 98. Philadelphia founded, but always on the move. Sports and entertainment, videos, podcasts, tweets.
Well, I saw where Ron Culver sent us an email.
Oh, no, I need to look at that.
About Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Well, that's what we brought up about how you can be verified.
Right. And I checked into that.
I don't think it's up yet, right?
No, apparently they're rolling it out piecemeal. So if you haven't seen the link on your settings yet, they didn't get to you. And I checked, and I don't have the link, or I don't have the icon to hit on to change it.
Why don't you give me a baseball play tonight so I can use it on my show later?
Baseball?
Bobby Dahlbeck to hit a home run?
What?
What are you, a Bobby Dahlbeck guy?
Jesus.
Let's go. Let's go with a high total here.
Oh, Kevin Bloomfield on the stream has Bezadenhout. He's in second place.
Yeah, remember, I ran him on a DK lineup.
So does Colin Berger, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I think you have to go. Oh, man, Arizona is just so miserable, though, right? That total sits at 11.
The Diamondbacks?
Yeah, it's in Colorado.
Colorado.
Arizona, man, they just don't. I mean, they give up a ton of runs, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
The two bad baseball teams are reeling. Both have lost 5 straight. I think you have to go over 11 tonight, right? There's a bullpen game too. Race to the pen.
It's 11.
By Rocket Mortgage.
Is the total?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'd go over with that. It's telling you to go over, isn't it?
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Second hour here. Barrett's on his way to a
kindergarten graduation.
Yes. And we are with you for the next hour here. Now, we're going to be joined by a couple of people. One that you know already in Kevin Kincaid from Crossing Broad here in Philly to talk a little bit about the Sixers, and God knows what else will come up in our conversation with Kevin. And then a guy that you should know because he's been on with us before, and I thought this would be a nice treat for Harry at the very least heading into the weekend, selfishly. Like we always do stuff selfishly with Geek Out, football-wise with Barrett. So Ryan Ballingy, the Golf Newsnet, is going to join us. And I don't know, I think you guys are following each other now, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. He is a fantastic golf mind, and two of you guys can definitely have some deep conversations. He also, by the way, understands just not only the value, Harry, but how much of it is in our DNA, not just us as degenerates, but just in general. So everything in golf that he talks about can come from an angle of betting or fantasy. He's really good at, and because golf is his first love, but he's good at infusing the other worlds too. So that's basically our next hour here.
Yeah, I've got him on the list as far as future guests for the golf podcast coming up in June.
Nice.
Probably work him in just prior to the U.S. Open.
Yes. We'll do that for sure. All right, now we've got Kincaid jumping in a little early.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just busting his stones because he's in the green room and he can hear us.
He actually accommodated us because we wanted him on earlier because we didn't know Barrett was going to be on, so we had to change the time. And he's coming to us from suburban Philadelphia. Look at that beautiful sunroom he's in there. Wow.
Look, I can tell you something right away. This is how you know Kevin Kincaid has moved out of the city into the suburbs, not because, like, that could be a green screen for all we know, but look at this man, okay? He has a haircut. His beard is well kept.
Yep.
He has basically been publicly shamed walking to the local Rite Aid looking like a degenerate from the city.
Right, wearing a cap with a flat brim. Like there's
exactly. All right, we're back in 3. Kevin Kincaid's going to hang with us, but if you're on the stream, well, don't go anywhere. We're live.
Is there a dress code for the middle show?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
I didn't think so.
If I had better looking arms, I'd be in a jersey every day.
I figured if I was going to wear the Motorhead sleeveless jersey, it would you guys of all people would be okay with that. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything Lemmy is good on this show.
Yeah, this is all natural, no green screen here. Embracing my new surroundings in the North Penn School District, where there was a lacrosse fight the other day.
No way.
Yeah, did you see that video? It was a Methacton versus North Penn, a North
that's
Penn
a big
kid.
Battle.
It is, yeah. The Route 363 battle.
Yep.
Is that Pac-10? No, it's not Pac-10. They play in the other league.
Yeah.
The Methacton kid checked it, or North Penn kid checked a Methacton kid out of bounds. And there was like a little bit of an argument on the sidelines. And then a volunteer Methacton coach in a sling punched the North Penn player in the face while he was wearing a helmet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's like Buddy Ryan.
Lacrosse, man. Anything goes in lacrosse, suburban lacrosse.
We used to do that though, in high school until you realize that you do it against the wrong guy, a bigger guy. But somebody figured out early on that you could go into the locker room, put on a lacrosse helmet, lacrosse gloves, and box. And it was done a lot. And it was almost like it was cool in one sense, because you knew if you had a beef with somebody, it would be like, oh, get him in there, fight with, and it would be a real fight. But I'm telling you, man, that those fists, like, I know a lot of times you see helmets and stuff like that. You could get somebody. You could get somebody with those.
We didn't even have lacrosse when I was in high school. It was like a club team, and it was popular, and so now I think they play it like sanctioned PIAA. In this area, we didn't have lacrosse. We didn't have volleyball.
We didn't have it
either. Yeah. So they started adding that.
Now, I'm wondering if you're piping in those bird noises like CBS at the Masters.
Oh, no. I feel like I look over my shoulder and see Jim Nance or, the AMN corner. Maybe I can give you like a backyard view here or something.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Well, that's pretty nice. You guys remember Derek Mays from Notre Dame?
No.
He was a wide receiver.
Okay.
Played a couple of years, drafted by the Packers, played in the NFL. So Gettysburg, when I was at Gettysburg, they won D3 championships for lacrosse because they just started recruiting a bunch of athletes and went to college with this great dude. Jay Mays was his name. A couple of other guys that they pulled from like Baltimore. They pulled from different areas. And they were just so much bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody that if you had a couple of skill set guys on there, you'd rip them. Now, that's D3, so I don't know what the hell, Virginia or Johns Hopkins, but
this is The Middle on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Well, Barrett is at a kindergarten graduation, and he's at a kindergarten graduation for, get this, and this is going to make Kevin Kincaid feel young. It's going to make me feel young, and Harry, who cares? He's in his own world anyway when it comes to kids and young people. But Kevin Kincaid is a new father. A newer father. I am about to be a new father. And Brooks, who is like not that much older than all of us, younger than Harry, is going to his great grandson. No,
it's his grandson.
His grandson's kindergarten.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not that old.
Yeah.
No. But his mom is a great grandma.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, Mama Brooks, who may still
checks
be
in
watching
on the show.
Yeah, she's here all the time, and she's first in, last to leave. That's where Barrett gets his work ethic.
Now, the kindergarten graduation, that's a relatively new thing, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember. That's kind of like a Zoomer millennial kind of. I found out the other day that I'm part of a generation called the geriatric millennial. Have you ever heard of that before?
Is that right? No.
Yeah.
So there's delineations within the millennial.
Yeah, because listen, I was born in 84. They say anybody who was born after 80 is a millennial. But if you were born between 80 and 85, like you didn't have a cell phone until like high school or maybe college or whatever. So now there's a story about how geriatric millennials they think are going to be the leaders of America over the next 10 years. So everybody get behind me. I will take us where we need to go.
You're in prime position to lead Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means exactly, but I'm willing to embrace it.
Banning a bunch of callers on the radio. That's the first part, right?
Yeah. What is the latest radio wars?
Getting rid of Wayne from Chester County or wherever the hell he's
Ingy was one for sure. I think he called when you guys were taking callers back then. There's a new one, Chuck from Mount Airy. Andy from Deptford was not happy with me on Facebook. But look, I think the gist of the story that I wrote was just you can't turn callers into celebrities. I should not be pulling up at the same intersection every single day, Route 563 and Lawn Avenue, and hearing Chuck from Mount Airy call the radio at the same time every day. That's when you have a problem.
Yeah.
So I got nothing against the callers. I don't want anybody to think I have a problem with the callers, but they should not be the driving force behind the show.
Well, this was a great thing.
Well, if anybody's heard Chuck from Mount Airy, and I don't believe John Marks, and I've texted him, and I don't believe Ike Reese, who was on the air with him as well. I don't believe Jack Fritz, who has done a fantastic job working his way up from ignored intern at one radio station to now league leading producer at another one. But that's not a real man or a real voice. I need to see something.
It can't be.
It's just not a real voice.
No, it can't be.
And he's holding him accountable for it, Harry.
Well, what was always great was when you'd hear that caller or a caller that was always on call the one station with a take. Then you'd flip to the other station, and 20 minutes later, he's on that station with the exact same take. Yeah. And then you'd hear it on the weekends with a weekend host, the exact same take.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Here's a rhetorical question. If you guys were in the business of, say you were taking like calls on this show or whatever, would you institute a rule, the old school rule where it was like, maybe you call once during the week and once on the weekends, or would you take a caller every single day?
No. Well, for me personally, and look, I say this in all honesty here. I think that if the station that's getting tripled, right, and I'm not meaning this as a rip, I'm just saying seriously, if the station I do love that bird sound, by the way. It's
fantastic.
It does. It sounds like the zoo. That sound that they pump out right before you get to the bird exhibit.
Right.
It's the sound of the siren luring you into the bird exhibit.
That's great. I didn't even think of that. I was just like, why don't I come outside? Because it's nice that my wife is doing a call inside, and in my office it's really dark, and I didn't want to fumble around with the lights. So I'm like, why don't I go outside? I didn't know you guys were going to have the ambiance of Upper Gwinnett Township on the middle today. So I'm glad I could provide that.
No, this is fantastic. Look, in all seriousness, if you want to somewhat narrow that gap, then talk more and have people on the phones talk less. Look,
well, I would always put it this way, right? Here, let me give you an example. Like, say we're doing a radio show about biochemistry, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the two hosts are experts on biochemistry, right? But I call in and I want to share an opinion on it, but I don't know. I'm not a biochemistry expert. So do you need to hear from me every day?
No,
not even if you're funny, or not even if you're saying something completely off. But think about it. The people that get that celebrity treatment, and it's not just in this city, it's anywhere you see caller-driven content. The people that get that celebrity treatment are never, and I'm not even going to use the term rarely, Kevin and Harry, but never people that are there to provide logic or there to provide a balanced, reasonable opinion. They're there to say, fire this guy as fast as you can.
Yeah. Howie Roseman this and Howie Roseman that. And that's an important delineation to make, because I don't want people to think that I'm like poo-pooing callers or fans in general, or people who read.
Yeah, Eytan is.
I know. Yeah. He comes from a different perspective. He's a little bit jaded in that.
Yeah, a little.
But
a little.
Understatement, right? Yeah, I mean, there's good. I want to hear more from the good callers. I want to hear less from the bad callers. But it's the loudest people with the least interesting things to say who I find calling up the stations every single day. So, I'm not going to be naive and sit here and say, if you're winning in the ratings, obviously it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, here, take recommendations from a Crossing Broad writer when you're already dominating the competition. But like, I can only say what I would like to hear, and I think that raises the level of discourse in the Philadelphia sports market, where we're having more educated conversations and we're learning something, not just being entertained.
Well, here's the thing. There used to be years ago, and Eytan, you can attest to this, maybe when this was at the other station. There used to be a real screening process for phone calls.
Right.
That has gone totally out the window. Now it's just like, hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? And they put you right on.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I was partly responsible for, I don't expediting that process, because as much as I worked on that station in different time slots, I would always tell producers, just make sure the person can talk. Like, I don't care if they're yelling. I don't care if they're screaming. I don't care if they're cursing. Can they put sentences together? And that's it, because I don't want to go to somebody and say, well, so that was partly my fault, because part of what we were doing, or really all of what we were doing, is just, hey, take calls. And we know that crazy calls beget calls.
Right.
So I would tell the producer, hey, don't talk to that person.
Just put them on.
Yeah, you're going to burn that call.
So it's your
out.
fault.
Exactly. And look, I was just following orders.
It's a fascinating case study, though, honestly, because I'm a soccer guy. I used to do all these like hits in all kinds of different cities. I do like Portland radio. I do Vancouver. I would do like Toronto and like Montreal and whatnot, even though I didn't speak a lick of French. And to see the way that they programmed radio up there was just completely different than what you would get at like Philadelphia or like a WFAN or like a DC or Baltimore or something like that, where, you do a 4-hour show and they'd have like 7 guests lined up. Right. Because they would do like guest break, and do it in like 25-minute blocks or whatever. And then maybe they'd take like 4 or 5 callers. But it's just fascinating to see how some of those places program the way they do versus the caller driven radio kind of being like a Northeast Mid-Atlantic kind of phenomenon. Maybe that's a Crossing Broad story for another time.
Well, I got to be honest, it's tough to get guests every day when you're doing radio 5-6 days a week.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, because you guys do. I try telling people that. I'm like, first of all, like you can sit here and make fun of radio guys because you talk about Carson Wentz or Howie Roseman every single day. But I'd say to them, you sit there and try to do 20 hours of radio a week.
Right.
That's a lot, man.
It is a lot,
especially when in the off season when there's nothing going on. You get to like June or whatever, and the same Phillies topic is boring, and it's like you're focused on the Eagles, which pays the bills for all of us and stuff like that. So I don't think anybody should be naive to the fact that like it's hard to sit there and talk for 20 hours a week, So there's probably a sweet spot in the middle between guests and callers and the same stuff, but
Yeah, but can I just interject here? I don't think it is.
It's your show. Of course you can interject.
I don't think it is hard to talk.
Allow me to retort. No, he doesn't think it. No. He wants to do it for 40 hours a week.
But hold on a second. I'm not the only person like me on the planet. Why can't you go out and find? And look, if you find somebody who doesn't want to talk the whole time, then pair him with me. All right.
Well, that's true. And to that point, I feel like I've done every single different time slot with Eytan over the last 2 years. I think I've done 3 a.m. hit. I've done an 8 p.m. hit. I've done, what time is it now? 12:22. I think every hour of the day, I think I've done something with Eytan. So I think there is a lot of truth to what he's saying.
You got to stop answering the phone, brother. At least block my number.
I know. I do. I hate turning people down, though, because you know why? It's like I sit here and think, like, who the hell am I to say no to this person? Like, I write for Crossing Broad. Like, if I was like at ESPN or something like that, I'd be like, sorry, I'm too busy. But I like to feel like a man of the people, as they say.
All right. Well, are
you authorized to say man of the people on this program?
Oh, I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
I think that's copywritten.
Wait, speaking of copywritten, can we throw this at Kincaid here? Because we may have CC Sabathia hit for a trademark. Have you heard the latest from CC?
Yeah, in the next, you'll know it's a copyright infringement if I start lecturing you about morality and politics in the next segment. So,
okay, well, fair enough. I don't think we're going to go down that road of copyright infringement, but there is another host on that station.
Yeah, you got to hear this.
Might be looking to sue CC Sabathia if, in fact, Sabathia did not get the green light to use this word. You ready, Kev?
Yeah.
This is what I was telling you when they hired him. Like, he's just so out of touch with the game, and most people are, cuz. Like, I sit here and watch Christopher Russo on fucking MLB Network. He's out of touch with the game, cuz. Like, Tony La Russa's out of touch with the game, cuz. He should not be managing one of the best teams in the American League, period.
That's 3 cousins in 21 seconds. I don't know if he got the okay for that.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to take CC Sabathia and put him in the bagster.
Yeah, nice.
Listen, can I make a point about that real quick? Like the
bagster's quality.
No, I might have to get the bagster out here because I got some crap in the backyard to clean up. But now, was that the unwritten rules of the game, or is that just saying they got a position player on the mound? It's a 10-run game. Let's just end this thing.
It was like 15 to 4.
That qualify? Yeah, it's like 15 to 4
in the 9th inning.
So is that an unwritten rule, or are we just like, is it just good sportsmanship?
I think it's more sportsmanship. That's the way I took it.
See, now here's the problem, Harry. It's like in the NFL, you can just take a knee.
Right.
In basketball, you can just
Unless
stand
you're-
there and dribble out the clock.
Right.
Like, what do you do in baseball? You want the guy to just like,
Well, he
swing
wanted
and
him
miss
to
on
take.
purpose.
It was
Yeah.
a 3-0 pitch, and he wanted him to take, and he hit a freaking home run.
Now, here's the thing: if he takes and he gets walked and he ends
Mhm.
up on base, like where's the guarantee that any outs are coming anyway?
Right.
You know,
That's
so
true.
like I can see both sides of it, but
Just put a 10-run rule in.
Yeah.
I know.
Seriously.
In the
Yeah,
in the
don't rush.
ninth inning, a 10-run rule would work.
Yeah.
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 Honestly, I mean, I don't know why people are going to think, oh, it's T-ball. Like, the same people who want to give people and kids a participation trophy are going to look against that for some reason. I don't know. It seems like that is the only way to marry where Tony La Russa is standing and where CeCe and other players are standing, which is just put a 10-run rule in. That's it.
Yeah. That's what they do out here in the suburbs. You know, if you don't do that kind of stuff, you know, hostilities start. You know, it turns into Methacton and North Penn lacrosse, where you got a coach punching the guy in the face. You know, so I've always said, like, if you don't like the unwritten rules of the game, or you think they should be adhered to, then let's just write them down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
why
because then
are
there's
they
no
unwritten?
there's
Right.
no discrepancy if it's I mean, you can't, if you have something that's universally agreed on, but it's like a wink wink nudge nudge kind of thing, then just put it in the damn rule book.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll
You
take
know?
a quick one here. Kev, you want to talk some Sixers real quick?
Yeah, I'll give you another segment. How about that?
Oh, look at that. We're you know what?
But I gotta police myself, because if you don't say anything, I'll be on here until the show ends.
Right.
No. We've got a guest at 12:40. I purposely made it
Okay.
so that we would not be able to keep you longer than like 1.5 segments. So what we'll do, we'll actually take a full break
Okay.
now. If we can get some time with Kevin, we'll be back in 3. It's the middle across the board. Like, share, subscribe, tell the world here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel, Philly Voice, and Sports Map Radio.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
We got about 40 till we're back. And then
All right. Before we get to the Sixers, we're going to have to hit on Mayor of Easttown to see if Kevin's in on it.
You know, I haven't watched it. My wife is watching it, and she really likes it.
Yeah, so do I.
I get bits and pieces while I'm like walking around the house or whatever. I do think the accent's a little bit
forced?
A little bit much. Yeah.
And I think what happens is you have a couple of people there who don't know really the difference between Delco and Boston, and you start to hear a little Boston.
It's kind of like the O sound. Kind of sounds a little like
boom. It's like forced.
Sounds like I'm listening to like somebody in like Minneapolis or something at times, you know.
There was a Judas Priest reference in the last episode.
Oh, well now I got to watch.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you.
Oh no, well now I'm definitely intrigued. I got in the car yesterday and I put on the Green Man Alishi. And my daughter looks at me and she goes, "I love this song." At 2 years old, it's like the greatest.
You got another thing coming. Is in episode 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I dig it.
Well, have you
seen
seen Silence of the Lambs?
What's this now?
Have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
Oh my God, years ago.
Well, it's like step by step, piece for piece, homage. The final scene in
episode 5,
right?
Can I give you a piece of Judas Priest trivia real quick?
Sure. Yeah. You never know when this can come in handy. Absolutely.
The movie Top Gun, Judas Priest was originally asked if they wanted to do the theme song for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Instead of Kenny Loggins.
They were going to take a song off of the Turbo album and use it for the movie, but Priest didn't want to remove that song from the album, and they weren't sure that the movie was going to be any good. Go figure. Top
big
Gun.
Mistake.
Yeah, so they wrote, and every biography every dude in the band wrote, they talked about that being a big like missed like opportunity for him. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well.
Yeah. Do you know which song it was?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was called Reckless. It's the last song on the Turbo album. That was the Top Gun producers wanted that to be the theme song for the movie.
Wow, that is great trivia.
Yeah, and they would. So then the
is that
album
on Cuzzo trivia?
No, I don't
think that question
available.
The album only would have been 8 songs then instead of 9 because the rule is that if you use it for the soundtrack, you can't put it on your album. So. I think that was one of the big hangups for him.
Well,
they ended up doing the song then for like that Johnny B. Good movie that flopped in the 80s. So they thought they were correcting their mistake, but they ended up giving the theme song to the flop movie instead of the good movie.
Wow.
Well, what's the Johnny B. Good? I mean, wouldn't you just use the Chuck Berry song?
They covered it. They did like a heavy metal version of Johnny B. Good, and that was this theme song for the movie, which ended up sucking. So
got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's your bit of Judas Priest trivia. But yeah, the song's called Reckless if you want to look it up on YouTube. That was originally the Top Gun people wanted that to be the song.
Yeah, we can't play it or YouTube will flag us for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the lyrics.
Well, sing it. You could always sing it.
I've never heard the song.
Somebody just needs to give you a guitar riff underneath.
No one can stop me now. I'm like a human dynamo is how it opens up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's about flying an airplane.
Is that right?
I think that's what attracted them to it, you know, because
wait, do you think it would go with the same cadence and BPM as Danger Zone? Like if we played the instrumental of Danger Zone,
trying to put both songs in my head at the same time.
It's like a mashup.
It would have worked. It would have worked. It would have been good. It would have been really good. Yeah. They all say it was like a big missed opportunity. But how the hell do you know? You don't know if Top Gun's going to be good or not. These people come to you, they're like, we got an idea for a movie with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer and whatever. But they're like, I don't know if it's going to be good or not. So
well, they didn't. They probably didn't mention Louis Gossett Jr. Right? I mean, if they had thrown someone like that in there, then maybe it changes.
No, wasn't it Tom Skerritt?
Oh yeah, it was Tom Skerritt.
Yeah, Skerritt.
Thinking of a different
Skerritt had that great mustache.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Skerritt's. I still say that if you take who Tom Skerritt is as an actor and you understand how wide range of roles he can play, his best role is still Strawberry. No.
Now, see, this is good Tom Skerritt knowledge. You don't get this kind of knowledge on any kind
You're
of.
You're going deep on Tom Skerritt. What movie is that?
It's Up in Smoke, where Cheech and Tom have to get they can't find any lid, which is code for
weed. Yeah.
Right, hey man, we got to get a lid, man.
Yeah.
And then Cheech says, I got a guy Strawberry, man. And then Tom Skerritt is like this Vietnam vet who's having flashbacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Come on.
Can you see how much pollen is on my phone
Yes.
right now?
Yeah, that's awful.
That's
that looks
terrible.
like the top of our cards. All right, yeah, I know you got to go. We've got a guest and all, so we've got about 2 minutes here. Sixers, what's your cutoff for where you get upset if they don't make it?
I'd say if they go to 6 or 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, it would be hard for me to be disappointed. You know, if Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden get hot and it is what it is, then that's okay. But to me, it feels like finals are bust. I don't know.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. I don't see them having a tough path to get to that point. But I think if they make it competitive in the Eastern Conference Finals, then yeah.
What happens if they lose in 5 to Brooklyn, but Brooklyn goes on and wins the whole thing in 5 or 6? Is that
then it's a failure for me. Yeah.
Even
that would have to go to 6 or 7. I mean, it's hard to say when you got home court advantage and you're gonna have a full arena by then. It's gonna be 100% with no masks. I mean, it's hard to say that you could be anybody would be happy with losing to Brooklyn or Milwaukee in 5. You know,
I don't know if I know what that's like anymore.
I have a weird kind of take. I honestly think, like, this is gonna sound stupid, but I think maybe they should just keep it at 50% or 25% and take the pressure off of them. They played damn good without fans this year, without media in the locker room.
Lost like 7 home games, I think.
Yeah, that Cavs. I still won't forgive them for that Cavs loss, by the way.
Oh
yeah. Like, part of me says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But then it would kind of be cheap. You know, you'd like to see them, go to the finals with a full crowd behind them. So, but Washington's got 2 good scores. They got nobody to guard Embiid. And they like to get out and transition and run the floor and play with a high pace. So I think it's a pretty good, like, early test against a couple of the Sixers' weaknesses, because they're a terrible defensive transition team. So they clean that up in the first round, it'll look okay.
Yeah, and the thing about the Sixers, and they just have to take advantage of it, is that the Wizards will give you a humongous opening in every first quarter. I mean, last night was more of an anomaly because Indiana just didn't have it in them at all to compete. But the Wizards are at least more often than not pretty slow starters. And if the Sixers can just come out and put up a 34 to 36 point first, the game's over.
Yeah, and if Embiid can get a lot of possessions and get to the foul line and slow it up and kind of take them out of the rhythm, because Washington's a team that they sort of like chunk together points. Yeah, and so you slow it down, you don't let them kind of get out and run, and you get out and stop the ball, and you prevent those up-court passes and stuff like that, then they won't be able to do much of anything. But Beal and Westbrook is a good backcourt test. You know, they only got 2 stars instead of 3 like Brooklyn does, but you get a defensive test on the perimeter.
All right, Kev, we appreciate you, brother. Thanks,
man.
Right.
Anytime, guys.
That's Kevin Kincaid.
Great stuff.
We'll chat with Ryan Ballengee next. All right, we're back.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
Something's telling me that Nyara Andrzak doesn't look like the commercial.
Oh, wait, I sent it to him.
Huh?
I don't know where Ryan is.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh, he's going to be a couple minutes back. That's all. He's fine.
Wow. Jordan Spieth outside the cut line.
Not good. Where's Bryson? He didn't tee yet, right?
I don't think so.
This is the middle.
No, he hasn't gone out yet.
This is the middle on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts studio.
Mickelson brought it back.
On Shander, Barrett
That's good.
Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Now, Ryan Balanchie's going to join us coming up in a minute or so. He's just running a little behind on, I mean, look, this is day 2 of the PGA. So
Yeah, is he on site? Is he on the property?
that I don't know. You know, I should have asked him last night. I don't know. It could, I mean, from a media standpoint, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Could get there. So I don't know. You know, it's not far. I know he's down in the district.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad drive.
No, that's not
6.5 hours or so
Probably.
from DC. Or you fly. I don't know if Ryan's a flyer at all, but
Well, I'll tell you, this cut line is really shaping up here. Right now, it's still at +2. Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, Will Zalatoris are outside the cut line right now.
boy, and I was talking with Ryan last night about a bunch of different guys, and what came up in the conversation with Zalatoris was just how good he looks in the sense of just not letting this stuff phase him. He's a young kid, and he goes out there, and it's just like nothing bothers him.
Yeah.
And today, apparently, something bothered him.
Well, I mean, he's +4 today. Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Now, look, I think it's unfair, and I'm speaking to
Rahm just dropped out of the cut line now,
That's
too.
not good, too. Rahm was a lot of people's favorite to win.
I know. I think Brandel Chambly and Justin Leonard both picked him to win it.
Now, what is the cut line? 2?
Right now, it's at +2.
Okay. So notable names, as you mentioned, Rahm, Rose, Spieth, Zalatoris.
Yeah, Martin Keimer, Justin Thomas has yet to tee off. Rory McIlroy, they're going out later today.
Rory's going to shoot 5 under today, make the cut. Watch.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Patrick Cantlay now. Plus,
Yeah,
he
he's
just
another
doubled a par 5.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
7 on a par 5.
Yep.
And
on the second hole.
Wow. Yeah, I have him on 11 right now. So he must have he teed off on the back.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so he just finished 11. Wow. Seeing anybody else. Now, these guys still have to tee off, granted. We're still waiting on a couple of them, but
Daniel Berger, only 2 under today. He's still +5. He's going to probably miss it.
Matsuyama's 1 over.
Yeah.
Just to keep an eye on that, he tees at 209. Now, let's look at some of these
Patrick
other guys.
Reed, +4 today, +6. He's going home. Trunk slammer.
Oh, man. Now,
Sergio
Rob,
Garcia, Billy Horschel.
you got Bubba and Bryson at even par, teeing off 131, 209, respectively, today.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, look, this thing here, Bubba Watson has a decent to good day today. Move up a couple of strokes on the leaderboard, Harry. We could be talking about him 2 shots off or 1 shot off. How about Corey Connors This is a very difficult sport to play, man.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough to put back-to-back really great rounds together.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I mean, even guys that you would expect that, it's just difficult. And here's Hovland now, 147. I don't know. Are you keeping an eye on the wind? How was the wind today compared to yesterday?
I'm not sure. I'm not watching it.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're getting any comments or anything from it. Streelman, by the way, 4 under through 14.
Yeah, he tore it up today.
So, a question for you. Ron Culver, if you can, please. We're going to need a little more information on this story that you just texted me about.
Yeah, there's a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
And there's a viral video going around. It's all over Twitter. All you got to do is type in Koepka, Rory McIlroy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both, I don't know what green they're on. They're both kind of looking at it. And then they start walking, and they're walking in unison with each other. Like stride for stride, left leg at the same time, right leg at the same time. But not only that, the fun part is watching them twist or twirl their putters at the same time.
Oh.
Everything is in perfect unison with each other. I don't know if it was planned or meant to be that way, but it's a glitch in the Matrix. That's the only way I can describe it.
So we have to pull this video up now?
Yeah, Barstool Sports has it. Rory McIlroy and Brooks Koepka strutting on the green together is mesmerizing.
It's very bizarre. You can't look away. You watch it several hundred times, and you still can't figure it out. It hurts your brain.
Hold on, I have to get past the Tim Tebow is back, and he's looking thick. Sweet.
Yeah.
Try
to get past that.
All right. I'll pull the clip up here.
Golf Digest has it as well.
Yeah. No, I have it here now, so we can watch it. Just as long as we don't get banned.
Yeah, I know. We might get a copyright infringement.
I'm just out here so we don't get banned.
Right.
Everyone has it, so I don't know how you can copyright.
Here we go.
Infringe that.
All right.
Neck injuries can be lingering as well.
Wow.
What's interesting is Rory's neck.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, is Rory flinging, like twirling the club too? Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, he did.
Now that's planned. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's planned. Come on, Harry.
Wow.
But
come on.
It hurts your brain looking at it, doesn't it?
Not if you look at it like from the angle of they planned it.
I could watch that all day.
It looks like an ensemble.
I mean, put those two in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Swimming.
That's
synchronized. What I mean. Yeah, synchronized green walking.
That's gold medal right there.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
You know, we'll have to get thoughts here because Ryan's about to join us. I think this was staged. Let's see. Ryan Ballingy.
There he is.
Yes. Now, you can follow Ryan on Twitter at Ryan Ballingy, at Golf Newsnet. TheGolfNewsNet.com is the site. What's up, brother?
Wait, I'm hearing the show back. I'm hearing an echo.
We got a little bit of it. Now it's gone. What's up, bro?
How you guys doing?
Great.
So can you see this up here? This is the video that's now gone viral of Rory and Koepka. Harry and I are watching this. This looks to me like they planned it. I'm sorry, but I think they planned this ahead of time.
Neck injuries can be lingering as well.
Right down to the twirl of the club, Ryan. Come on.
Yeah, that's almost got to be staged. Like, all right, we're going to do this at the same time, right? That's too coordinated. It's not like menstrual cycles. You can't coordinate like that.
Well, Ryan, we're getting a pretty interesting cut line here. It looks like +2.
Ryan, real quick, we're getting this echo back, so I'm going to put you off and then put you right back on really quick just to see if we can get through that technical issue because I don't want to lose Ryan by any means.
Yeah. So he thinks it's staged.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride the fader when we talk and then have Ryan be able to talk freely. So you go ahead and ask your question, Harry, to Ryan.
We're getting a pretty interesting cut line here at +2 with some very big names currently on the outside looking in. It looks like John Rahm just slipped back to +3 after he was pretty hot early on today. What do you think this ends up being? You think +2 is going to hold up?
I think we moved to +3, maybe even +4, depending on where things move. I mean, it's pretty brutal out there right now, the last 6 holes. I mean, they're playing basically at least 2 strokes over par combined. Brandon Grace just plunked one in the drink on 17. He's looking at bogey or worse. So Phil Mickelson's going to lead out right here in about 3.5 minutes.
How about
maybe a
that
little
for
bit
a
more
story,
than that,
Ron?
which is unbelievable. But I think a great score in the afternoon if the weather stays like this. I mean, I'm thinking 70 is a great score. 69 is a great score. It's going to be very difficult out there. It's already a 3-club wind into the wind right now.
Is this the toughest 2-hole finish in golf?
It's close. I mean, 17 is such a daunting par 3. I mean, Brandon Grace's shot was just, it looked like he was just scared. I mean, the layup, really, you should lay up. Spieth talked about it earlier when he played 17 with Mike Greller. Say, hey, I think we should lay up short left, and if it fades, it might get on the green. Otherwise, you can't take on that flag. I mean, Daniel Berger did it earlier, hit it to about 2.5 feet, which was probably pretty stupid, to be honest. It's just not the right play. And then 18 is just a monster 480 into the wind, which is basically 510. I mean, that's a lot to ask somebody to do that in 8 shots or 7 shots or less.
How bad is it right now compared to yesterday? When you look at the wind, you look at the conditions, clearly it's going to be an issue. But yesterday, maybe it was just day one and guys getting used to it. But yesterday, it seemed like it was the determining factor on the round. Is it been anywhere near that today?
It's getting there. It's getting there. It's not quite there yet, I don't think, but it's getting there. And I think that's because we also have the limiting factor of having guys teeing off on 1 and 10, going in different orders. So some of the guys play, those the 6 really hard finishing holes earlier in the round, and they kind of get paid. They pay for it then, versus what we're seeing now with Grace and Bezuidenhout and guys who are trying to get to the house, just hanging on, playing natural order. They're about to hit some really rough golf. So I think it will balance out. Yesterday when we were talking, Eytan, I thought it was going to be afternoon, morning is going to be the bad one. Well, it seems like that's going to be the bad one, but I don't think it's going to be all that much more advantageous to play early, late the first 2 days.
It's funny, Ryan, that I really want to see Phil Mickelson win a U.S. Open. I don't think it's going to happen, but if he ends up winning this tournament, that would be an unbelievable story. Do you think he's got the stamina, the endurance to keep this up in this kind of conditions for 2 more days?
I've got to say, I did not see a 69 coming today from Phil. I mean, the way he came in the final 9 holes was brilliant golf, considering the conditions and the holes that he played. And again, when we talked yesterday, we're like, all right, well, he was the T first round leader for the Wells Fargo a few weeks ago. And then the other 3 rounds looked more like what we know Phil Mickelson does these days. And then he puts up a great one today. I mean, 69 could be the best round of the day of someone who's going to make the cut. Someone could throw on a throwaway 67 or something. But, I mean, that's an incredible round of golf. And now he's got to realize that at age 50, nearly 51, a month from now, he could easily be the oldest major champion in history by 2.5 years if he wins this weekend.
Crazy. And speaking of 69s, did you see a 69 coming from Brooks Koepka yesterday?
No. I mean, I love him in major championships, and he loves difficult conditions. So I guess it maybe shouldn't have been that far flung to think about that. But with his knee just being seemingly so, I guess it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's just kind of temperamental, whether he feels okay about it or not, and whether he chooses to use it as a crutch or not. But yesterday he didn't. I think he really enjoys these difficult conditions because he knows it knocks out almost the entire field before we even get started.
It's like Jack Nicklaus at the U.S. Open. I mean, he was famous for saying that. Like, I know I got half the field beat already before I take a swing.
Right. And I think when you think that way, I mean, you don't think that way week to week on the PGA Tour, because last week 20 some odd under won. But at this tournament, if you get to 10 under, you've done something special. So I think Koepka really likes that kind of grind.
Well, one guy that I do think you saw a 69 or better coming from in the first round is somebody who needs to duplicate that at least a couple of times over to remain in contention, especially with conditions, but maybe well equipped for that. And that's the young bomber in Victor Hovland. He's going to tee off at 147 this afternoon. same area, right, as we mentioned, with at 3 under, Ryan. So where is Hovland after 1 in your mind as far as even winning this thing now?
Whew, he's got a long way between now and a late tee time tomorrow. I mean, I have a feeling he's going to try to play very steady golf. I mean, he said yesterday he did not have he didn't put his absolute best round up. He left a couple out there. That's standard pro golfer talk. But I think he feels like he can just put himself in positions to score and just see where it leaves him. If he shoots 72 today, you're nowhere near out of it. But if you shoot 77, you are out of it. So I think the goal for him or anybody playing in the afternoon that was under par yesterday, just shoot even par. If you can do that, you have survived. Get to Saturday and then see what you can do in the mix.
Couple of trunk slammers, though, no matter where this moves. I think Patrick Reed's going home, and it looks like Daniel Berger, too. 2 guys that I really thought would play well. What's the biggest surprise on the negative thus far for you?
Ryan, do us a favor. Hold on 1 second. We're going to break on the radio real quick. We're on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, Philly Voice as well, back in 3 on Sports Map Radio. All right, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
No worries. So I think the biggest one so far is probably JT. I mean, you expect Rory to start majors like crap. He always does.
Yeah.
But JT, I thought it was going to be a big part of this story. From a betting perspective, I had some each way money on Cameron Champ. I really thought if he could just keep it in play, he could be really interesting this week. He obviously did not do that. So
was he 10 over?
9 over, 10 over. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, not great. But I think JT is probably my biggest surprise. I loved Berger coming into this. I really did. I thought he was going to play great golf and obviously kind of torpedoed a little bit.
Yeah, for some reason I got sucked into the Patrick Cantlay thing again. Now he's got it to +4. He might end up making it. Who knows? But yeah, the cut's already moved to 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we get to 4. I think it's going to be pretty brutal in the afternoon.
Well, that doesn't bode well for me, who's fading Bryson DeChambeau and is hoping now for I have to go out there and root for like a 78 today from him, Ryan.
It could be in the cards, though. I mean, it's just so nasty out there right now. It's consistently 20, and it's consistently in your face on 10 of the holes. I mean, and even on the downwind holes, the pins are really pretty difficult today. So they're not giving you any gift on the downwind holes.
How about him on, I think it was 7 yesterday, goes driver pitching wedge in that par 5. I know he had wind at his back, but Jesus.
It's, I mean, but then again, what did Max Homa, who is not exactly a long hitter, banged 373 yesterday. So to at least put it in perspective, they were getting a lot of help, but I don't care who you are playing a par 5, and especially at this length golf course, driver wedge is just frightening.
Total freak show. Yeah.
All right, I'm curious, Ryan. Let's look at this from a standpoint of trying to get ahead, later rounds that are starting out. We mentioned a couple of names. One name we did not mention is the defending champion in Colin Morikawa. And I'm curious. I can't say it the way I normally say it, Morikawa.
He says it Morikawa, like his name's Morikawa.
Like from, like my uncle from Jamaica, Queens, a Jewish guy from Jamaica, Maury. So now, Ryan's going to make fun of me forever if he hears that. So I have to pronounce it correctly here. But how about the defending champ? It's a 2 o'clock, a little after 2 tee time. He comes in 2 under. If we're expected the cut to drop the cut line around 4 over, it's going to put him in a position right now where he can really make a move if he can just, again, maybe similar, as you mentioned, to Hovland, just keep his head above water.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, in the afternoon, your role is to shoot even par. If you can do what Phil did, find a couple birdies here and there, avoid big numbers, maybe you sneak in around 70, you've done yourself a great service. You're going to beat the field by 4 or 5 or 6 strokes, and you're going to keep yourself near the lead. You're going to keep yourself under par. Get to a late tee time on Saturday, see what happens, because there's a very realistic possibility that the wind completely switches by Sunday. So you're just trying to hang on. And if you could play downwind the final 6 holes on Sunday, then you've got your chance to really make a curious move and maybe you kind of steal one of these things away. So for Morikawa, Hovland, Brooks, all those guys in the afternoon, even par, that's all you want. Take it and run.
That's Ryan Ballingy, at Ryan Ballingy on Twitter. At Golf Newsnet is the Twitter account for the Golf Newsnet. JAKIB.com. So we're winding down about 90 seconds or so, Ryan. It's all yours. Give us a strong favorite in your mind to win this thing, and then somebody maybe on a little bit of a long shot you like as well.
Oh man, I can't. I mean, Phil's still a long shot in my mind. I don't care that he's leading the golf tournament, but I think Phil Mickelson is still a long shot. But I seen from him, he's playing disciplined golf. Seems like he's having real fun, which
Ryan freezing right as we
Right
need
at the
him.
end of the show.
I still think Hovland is my guy.
Hovland is his guy.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Thanks,
we
Ryan.
appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, you got it. A little bit of tech there, but we got through it.
Yeah, we did.
I just wanted to get some advice on there as well at the end. Hovland, we got in at Hovland at plus 800 last night, Harry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good play.
Good
value.
He's at plus 7 now.
Yeah.
All right, we're back a little overtime coming your way next. Thank you, Ron Culver. Have a great weekend, everybody. We're back in a flash on the JAKIB Media YouTube page.
Football in Philadelphia is a lifestyle, a passion from birth, and a personal responsibility to know the game. Boo when necessary. And think about Eagles! Every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Birds 365 was created for you. Jody Mack, the legendary sports talker, joins forces with NFL insider John McMullen. Birds 365. Start your morning with Johnny Mack and Jody Mack across the JAKIB Media Network. Watch it live on YouTube.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on JAKIB.
I love how the stream says goodbye to the guests.
Yeah, isn't that great, man?
Isn't that awesome?
This is a community.
It's so funny. Play Action Reel goes, thanks, Ryan.
Well, yeah, we tell people, too, to keep an eye on the stream when they come in.
Yeah.
If there's anything that they see.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I see an email here. I wanted to get into this. It just came in. I think you got it, too. The Brooklyn Nets have now surpassed the Los Angeles Lakers as the nation's most hated basketball team.
This is a study that was done by Bet Online. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Courtesy of Bet Online using geotagged
Twitter data. Yeah.
Uh-oh. You know, I'm a little uneasy about Twitter data because I don't believe that it's accurate.
Well,
I believe China data on their health situation is more accurate than Twitter's data on anything.
That could be true, but the Nets are hated in 25 states, according to this.
More than the Lakers.
The Lakers 21. Guess who is 3 and 4?
Boston and Philadelphia.
Correct. Each with 2 states. The Celtics have Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and the Sixers are more hated in New York and Connecticut.
Look, I spent a lot of time in Connecticut, man. A lot of time. Too much time. The Philadelphia 76ers never came up.
Right.
Unless I brought them up. Because I would tell people I'm going down to see an Eagles game. Oh, yeah, you're going to go see the Sixers too? What are you, Philly? That's it. Like, this wasn't a conversation in schoolyards. Man, my Sixers team. No. I like Connecticut.
Yeah. That one struck me as odd too.
Now, what's the most random state in which Brooklyn is hated? I mean, think about this. You start to look at these 2 states.
Nebraska.
Yes, thank you. In the Midwest.
Yeah.
What? Nebraska?
And Hawaii. Oh. And Hawaii, too.
Yeah, Hawaii and Alaska. Yeah, Alaska's Laker territory, hatred territory. So you know what this is, really? This is about two guys. It's really about three guys. It's not even about a team.
It's not about the Lakers. It's about LeBron.
And it's exactly right. And it's also about Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, who each have their own separate reasons for why people would hate them.
Right.
So really, what do people hate the Sixers for? Because Joel Embiid's a loudmouth? Right? Like, here's the thing. Boston, I get, is hateable if you have history with Boston. But if you're from Boise, Idaho, why the hell
hate about Tatum?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I still I don't think that Pennsylvania, it doesn't make sense that Pennsylvania would be hating the Celtics. I mean, I guess if you go back, but here's the thing. You'd have to go back to people older than you and I to find the true hatred.
Sunny
of
Hill.
Boston. Yes.
Sunny Hill in the living room.
I don't think the living room is on Twitter.
I don't
there's a
think
living
so
room
either.
Twitter account. Right? You are in the living room.
Yes. Oh, so I thought you'd get a kick out of that. And then the other thing I saw,
I did get a kick out of that. Thank you.
Was a 224-pound Russian woman reportedly killed her husband with her buttocks.
Now, was this in an act of sexual activity?
It's quoted as during a boozy dispute.
Oh, so alcohol was involved. That's another way of saying alcohol was involved.
Right. I got a picture of them here.
Yeah. Send it to my EYS account. And
it's actually in our prep sheet from yesterday. It's a New York Post column.
I think I deleted that after I sent it to Brady.
Tatiana O is reportedly facing murder charges for allegedly killing her husband by sitting on him.
A Russian woman. Okay, she suffocated him as a well, she's a pretty big woman. He's a pretty big dude though.
He begged forgiveness, is quoted here, but she refused to let him go. Their daughter saw their dad pinned face down on the bed and ran to seek help from neighbors in the Russian city of Novokudvanets, according to the news outlet.
I get okay. So here's the thing. This woman has definitely used that as some sort of form of either attack or defense in her life. Like, that's not something you just go to out of nowhere.
You think she's honed this skill?
I think so. It's probably going to be used against her.
Yeah.
All you need to do is go back in her history and find some ex-boyfriend who said, I was lucky to pinch my way out of that.
Right.
God.
Yeah. She got a little too much into the Popov one night and sat on me, and I was lucky to escape alive.
This is why you don't drink rubbing alcohol, Harry.
Yeah.
This is like the Florida man version. Is that the Florida version of Russia? Do we know?
Yeah.
That city?
Probably.
That's a brutal story, man. That was on yesterday's prep. I thought you were going to go with the Wally Backman thing that we saw on today's prep.
I didn't see that.
No.
And the other one that caught my eye was this elderly Indian woman over in India narrowly avoided being burned alive after her family mistakenly thought she was already dead from COVID. They were preparing her for cremation, and she jumped up.
I thought that would make the fake news, but
I know. I'm a little disappointed in Ron.
Me too. But yes, I mean, think about that. Now, that stuff happens not all the time, but I feel like every month or like 4 months or so, we get stories like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, person presumed dead walks out of the morgue.
Yeah.
But this person was actually on the table about to be cremated.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Not like in the morgue or somewhere.
She woke up on her own funeral pyre.
Okay, that is, I mean, I can't even imagine.
She was later transported back to the hospital. Wow.
That's got to be a major freak out, right?
Jesus. Can you imagine that?
No.
I couldn't imagine.
I can't.
Yeah.
And seriously, just thinking about that, where you're waking up, that's got to be one of the most bizarre freak scenarios that you'd go through that I wouldn't wish upon anybody.
No.
And then there's also the element of, like, again, it's one thing if you're in the cold box and you're banging like, let me out. Another thing when you wake up and you're on a conveyor belt right? And you're like, whoa. You've got a pretty short, finite amount of time to get out of there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you better get the hell out of there.
Yes.
Now, what do you have as we get out of here?
What do I have?
Yeah, what are you playing tonight? Anything?
No.
What are you watching tonight? You watching any sports?
I'll probably be watching the DVR'd second round of the PGA.
Well, what does that get you to? Like 10 o'clock at night? You still have a basketball game?
No, then I'm going to bed. I get a tea time at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I gotta get up early.
Okay, well
that's early for me.
That is early. I'll give you that. I just didn't know if you were.
Colin Berger's coming by on Sunday. We got a 9 on Sunday too.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're going back to back.
Yes.
Not
belly to belly.
I was going to say, not belly to belly.
Yeah.
Is that guy still calling baseball games?
Oh, yeah. Of course he is.
When I was working at Sirius nearly 10 years ago, he was struggling with home run calls.
So Susan Waldman.
Oh, my God. It's Roger Clemens.
Yep.
It is long. It is high.
It is high. It is far. Yeah.
And then he would like, oh, it's caught. It's caught. Like, no, dude, that was never long and far.
That wasn't never long and far.
You just missed it. Oh, man. All right. I guess that's it. Anything else? I'm going to take the Warriors tonight, by the way.
You are? What's the number?
Well, I'm also going to go over as well. How about that total last night?
I tried to get you to go over yesterday.
Well, I actually, of all things, I was worried about the Wizards. I wasn't worried about the Pacers. And even still, the Pacers took care of business and did enough.
Was that like 260 something it ended up?
Yeah, it was
something like that.
It's at 221. That's a good key number right there for the total. So you're pretty much, I just would default to points being scored at this point. That's all.
All right.
196. All right, that's out. We're out of here. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Go Sixers.
Football in Philadelphia is a lifestyle, a passion from birth, and a personal responsibility to know the game. Boo when necessary. And think about Eagles! Every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Birds 365 was created for you. Jody Mack, the legendary sports talker, joins forces with NFL insider John McMullen. Birds 365. Start your morning with Johnny Mack and Jody Mack across the JAKIB Media Network. Watch it live on YouTube.